The story begins with a familiar scene. Doraemon is busy fiddling in the corner of the room. But strangely, today he isn't paying attention to the donuts. Like usual. Instead, he, the chubby cat, is focused on a strange gadget. The game of fate. The principle of the game is quite simple. Just place an item inside to exchange for a turn. Then spin the wheel of destiny. If you're lucky, you'll get valuable items. But if you're unlucky, you'll only get useless octopuses. At first, it seems like just a fun game. But in reality, it's like a machine that lures you into greed. The more you play, and the more you want to try again. And the deeper you get caught in the red or black whirlpool. Doraemon originally just meant to try it once for fun. But when he realized his beloved donuts could be traded for turns, he couldn't resist and brought out his entire stash of precious donuts. However, the result was nothing but octopuses. Nobita walked in. They saw Doraemon sulking and, out of curiosity, decided to try it. On his first spin, unexpectedly, an entire lavish feast appeared before him, allowing Nobita to eat as much as he wanted for 15 minutes. Overwhelmed with happiness, Nobita believed that he had really gotten lucky. But, as the saying goes, the initial luck is the sweetest bait. From that point on, Nobita became hooked, exchanging everything from comic books to textbooks, even emptying out all the valuable things he had to keep spinning. And of course, the result was no different from Doraemon's. A pile of useless octopuses. After Nobita, frustrated by continuously spinning and only getting octopuses, I refused to give up. His childish impulse drove him to bring his whole group of friends to prove that he wasn't as unlucky as Doraemon had said. Thus, Shizuka, Giant, and Suneo appeared one by one. At first, they were skeptical. But when they saw the Game of Fate machine light up, with all the tempting prizes, their eyes immediately lit up. Shizuka, usually gentle and not particularly interested in games of chance, let's try spinning just for fun. To her surprise, she won a beautiful dress. The joy made Shizuka blush, and she rushed to show off her prize. While Nobita breathed a sigh of relief, glad that at least someone had proved the game was worth trying. Giant, on the other hand, was different. With his bold personality and desire to prove himself, he growled and insisted on having a turn right away. Spoon once! And immediately won. A super microphone with just one note. The sound could echo throughout the entire neighborhood. Before anyone could celebrate, the group had to cover their ears because Giant was loudly singing into the mic, causing the neighbors to run in panic. Hey, so now, being cunning and always eager for luxury items to flaunt, took his turn and won immediately a super fancy remote-controlled car. Suneo hugged the car with a smug smile, taunting Nobita. I see. You're the only one who's unlucky. I'm watching everyone else win. Nobita grew even more frustrated. He shouted, No, there's no way. I'll keep spinning until I win. And so, from a simple game, the group of friends became swept up in excitement. Each of them in their own way. Now became more and more absorbed, losing track of time and forgetting the potential consequences of their actions. At first, the joy was overwhelming. Everyone thought they would keep winning wonderful prizes. But soon, the Game of Fate proved that it doesn't favor anyone forever. Shizuka spun again, hoping for another cute item. But this time, all she got was an octopus hopping around, completely useless. She forced a smile, thinking it was just a fluke. But after spinning a second time, then a third, the result was still the same. Octopuses. The smile slowly faded from Shizuka's face. Suneo didn't fare much better. After winning the fancy model car, he eagerly spun again, hoping to show off his natural luck. But the rewards kept coming up useless. plastic sandals, crooked sunglasses, and more octopuses. His previously smug face was now twisted with frustration. Jayan was the angriest. He had wanted another microphone to start his Jayan idol band. But instead, he got a pile of octopuses in his pocket. The more he spun, the harder he tried. Yeah, wasting more of his belongings. But the results were always the same. Disappointment after disappointment. The only one still stubbornly hanging on was Nobita, blindly persistent. Even after losing all his comic books, toys, and even his brand new pencil case, he still firmly believed. Next time, I'll definitely get lucky. Doraemon looked at his friends, feeling his heart heavy. What had started as a harmless game had turned into a real addiction. The eager eyes that once shone with excitement were now clouded with worry and disappointment and even anger. None of them realized that the game of fate had lured them all into the sweet trap of greed. Seeing how deep the group was sinking into this game, Doraemon couldn't sit still anymore. He spoke sternly, pulling the game of fate machine out of Nobita's hands. Enough! Can't you see it's making everyone blind to reality? But nobody listened to Doraemon's warning. Nobita snatched it back, shouting desperately, "Just one more time, just one more time. I'll definitely win." Shizuka bowed her head sadly, lamenting the loss of her first beautiful dress. "I'm still hoping for another similar prize." Suneo snapped irritably. "Give it to me. This time, I'm going to get something rare." Jayan, losing his patience, shouted fiercely. "Ow! Everyone shut up! This machine is mine. Anyone who tries to take it will get a beating." The air between the friends suddenly became suffocating. What had started as laughter and joy had now turned into fighting, arguing, and pure anger. Doraemon sighed, his eyes filled with determination. He pulled out a sealing device from his pocket, intending to lock the game of fate away. But just as Doraemon was about to press the button, Jayan rushed forward, trying to wrestle it away. Nobita and Suneo joined in. I'm all trying to grab the machine back. In the blink of an eye, the room descended into chaos. Tiny books and papers scattered across the floor, like the furniture overturned, and the game machine flickered erratically as if it were about to explode. Doraemon yelled loudly, "If this keeps going, not only you guys, but the whole town will be in trouble." As the group fought fiercely over the machine, it was shaken violently. The light inside began to flicker erratically, accompanied by ominous buzzing sounds. Then, with a deafening bang, the machine exploded in a blinding flash. It wasn't just a few prizes anymore. Hundreds, even thousands of items began flying all over the room. The octopuses bounced everywhere, hitting the walls and rolling across the floor, causing the group to scream in panic. Jayan was hit by a pile of microphones, which automatically blared out loud music, shaking the entire neighborhood with his singing. Shizuka was surrounded by dozens of colorful dresses, unsure whether to be happy or worried. Sunyo ran in circles, clutching his head as many remote-controlled cars relentlessly chased after him. Nobita stood frozen, his eyes wide with obsession. Whispering, "That's right. More prizes. The more the better." Seeing this, Doraemon was truly horrified. He realized that if this game continued to spew out endless prizes, everything would descend into chaos. Not just the room, but the entire town could be consumed by uncontrollable pandemonium, with no other choice. Doraemon shouted, "Everyone, move aside. I'm going to destroy it right now." He rushed toward the machine, gripping it tightly as it trembled violently, preparing to activate the self-destruct mode. But at that very moment, Nobita grabbed Doraemon's hand. "Ow!" His eyes red with greed, pleading, "Out. Just one more time, please." Maybe this time, it'll be the prize that changes everything. The room seemed to freeze in that moment. Doraemon stood in the midst of a difficult choice. and he destroyed the machine to save everything. Or give in to the desperate look in his best friend's eyes. The moment Nobita gripped Doraemon's hand, everything seemed to fall silent. The boy trembled, his voice choked with emotion. Just one last time. Doraemon, if I miss this, maybe I'll never be lucky again. Hey, for the rest of my life. Doraemon looked into Nobita's eyes, filled with desperation. He understood that this wasn't just about winning or losing, but a reminder of greed and misplaced beliefs. After a brief silence, Doraemon sighed and gently placed a hand on Nobita's shoulder. Nobita! Luck isn't found in games like this. It's in your efforts and sincerity. If you keep relying on games of chance, you'll lose things far more valuable than prizes. Then, hang with firm resolve. Doraemon pressed the self-destruct button. The machine shook one last time, releasing a blinding beam of light before disintegrating into sparkling shards that scattered across the room. The group was stunned. The octopuses vanished, and the microphones, dresses, and model cars dissolved into the air, as though they had never existed. They all sat down, panting, realizing the harsh truth. Everything had been a sweet illusion. Giant whispered, "Denny, I almost lost control over some silly stuff." Suneo held his head in embarrassment. Yeah? My desire made me forget who I really am. Shizuka sighed. Hey, so that beautiful dress was just an illusion. Aye. And Nobita, with his head bowed, had a tear rolling down his cheek. I'm sorry. I caused everyone to end up like this. Doraemon smiled gently, his voice soft. Recognizing your mistakes is the first step to growing up. Remember, and true happiness doesn't come from luck, but from effort and the friendship we share. The group was silent for a long time. Then, suddenly, Giant burst out laughing, followed by Suneo, and Shizuka gently wiped away Nobita's tears. The heavy atmosphere lifted, replaced by the healing warmth of friendship. That day, the group learned an unforgettable lesson. There's no machine that can bring true happiness. Only sincerity and effort can create the luck in our lives.